Hey y'all, I wanted to let you know real quick, we have extended the memorial sale all the way through to the end of the month. We had such a huge demand for it. We wanted to go ahead and give you a little bit more time. Code MD15 is 15% off. It's applied automatically for you at checkout, and now it's good all the way to the end of the month. Thank you so much for supporting an American small business, and I'll see you in the lawn.
What's up, y'all? I'm Alan Hain, the Lawn Care Nut. Thanks for coming back for yet another weekend vlog. So today is Saturday the 25th. We are in the midst of the long Memorial Day weekend, and I got to get my lawn properly dressed for the festivities. For sure, a portion of that is going to be giving the lawn a fresh cut, but I got to get some other things done first. It's becoming a junkyard. Y'all might even think I'm a hoarder. Look at that. Christmas lights. Yeah, pretty bad. Love that thing. All right, let's keep going. This is what I'm looking for right here.
So this right here, this is called fence armor, or in this case, it's mailbox post armor.
Now, this is not sponsored. This is just my way of supporting another small business that I think is doing really cool things. So can you see this right here? This is actually metal that I have wrapped around the post right here. And the idea is it protects your wooden post from your weed whacker when you're going around, so you don't end up looking like this. Here's one right here. See that? See how that's all eaten away? And there's some that are a lot worse. But that's just, I mean, it's inevitable when it keeps getting weed whacked around there over the years. It's gonna eventually just take it into nothing, and you're gonna have to replace it. So back to mine, you can see when I moved in, it had already been nicked up in a few spots, but I put the fence armor on there and it hasn't gotten any worse. I just need to do a little touch-up paint there probably. Also, you know, I got the Humix stains on there, but that's like having good old stained work pants. It lets everybody know around that you're actually a worker, you actually do work. That's why I leave this on here. Just kind of, it's like another form of domination to show my stains from all the work I do around here. Now here's the thing, this is actually one of their patriotic, I don't know, extenders. This is pretty cool because you can put it on, and here, let me just, so check that out. Gives you that nice little patriotic wrap there for the holidays. So you can see I got my regular fence armor right there, and then this wrap just goes right above it. And I would keep it on year round, but the HOA would never allow that. But I can definitely do it during Memorial Day, 4th of July, that kind of stuff. And it's nice because it goes along with the flag that I fly 24/7, 365 anyway. All right, y'all, now I have something that I actually need your help on. As you may or may not know, pest control is kind of like the sister to lawn care. And in fact, in a lot of states, to get your pesticide license to spray for pest control, the basic license that you get or the general test that you take is the same for lawn care applicators and pest control. Now, it goes on after that, you get different certifications for different things, and that's where pest control branches off. But you'll find that a lot of the products we use are very much the same. And I'm no expert on pests, but I think these are termites. I've noticed these swarms right over here on this pole the last couple days. It's because of the light right there. I'll actually find them. Look, you can see them clustered all around the light. Look at that. I don't know if they're coming up during the night or what, but that's where I've been finding them. I don't know, you guys tell me, are these termites? And if so, are they subterranean or are they, what kind of, I don't know. I don't know anything about termites. So, and look at that, they're all over that. They're all over the pole right here. They're all over the edge of this pot. Look at them. Gross. Look at these things. And then if you look, I don't know if you can tell, but they're all up around here. They're all up under there. So that tells me they might be getting into my house. See here, I just think I have these lights on like pinks and purples at night, but I always find them clustered on the lights like that. So I don't know if that's drawing them out of the ground. Again, I don't really know anything about termites, and I can do Google searches and stuff, but I still don't really know what I'm looking at. So I'd really appreciate any of you experts letting me know, is this something I need to take care of in a bigger way than I'm about to right now? All right, I'm just gonna start blasting. Actually, I should probably start up there. That would be smart, to start up there and work my way down, even though all the fun is gonna be over here where they're in giant piles. But yeah, let's start up here. Oh man, they're falling down everywhere. You know what? I want to move my flag. Actually, you can see, look at them. They are not happy. Here, let's see if I can, I wish I had a GoPro. That'd probably be better. All right, so let's see if I can do this. See if you can see what happens here. Ah, all that does is move them. Punks. Anyway, I don't know if you can tell, but they're dying. So I do not expect that that is going to solve my problem. I think there's probably more that I'm gonna have to do here, especially because, like I said, they're all around the house and on the house. Now, they might not even be termites. Maybe one of y'all is gonna tell me there's something else. But either way, what I did today was just so I could feel good killing some of them, starting the war. And now I'm gonna educate myself and figure out the rest. But I would really appreciate those of you all that are in pest control to let me know, are those termites? Are they subterranean? Are they above ground? What are they? And what else should I do to remediate going forward? Or do I have to hire somebody? We'll see. For those of you with this Ego, this is the aluminum deck 22-inch, and I don't know if the other ones are like this. I would assume they would be. But we got 9/16 for the center. And then for these outer ones, we got 5/8. Close enough. By the way, this is what happens when you mow at the Freedom Factory and you mow over a bunch of junk that's all in their lawn out there. Look at that. Look at those chips out of that thing. Nasty, nasty. Finally, after all that, now I can enjoy the mow. Before I do though, I wanted to just show you, if a lot of you all are seeing uneven growth in your St. Augustine grass, like I can see it from here. I don't know if it's gonna show on the camera. Let me get down here and get low. Can you tell? Maybe you can't, but it kind of undulates, and it's not the ground itself, it's the St. Augustine, like it's growing in some areas and not in others. That's because areas that struggled or were struggling, they don't grow as fast as everything else. So if you're looking across your St. Augustine and you see it kind of in areas like that, it's just showing you some areas aren't growing as much, usually because they're not getting as much water, because as I have continually been bitching about, we are definitely in a dry period right now. And I'll just take a minute and say, if you live in Texas, I owe you an apology. You see, the other place that St. Augustine grass is quite prevalent is in Texas, southern Texas. And in the summers there, I'll see people all the time going, I can't keep up with the watering. My St. Augustine is just suffering, la, 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 la. And I always just thought, well, maybe that's just that Texas complex. Like, if you ever meet anyone from Texas and you talk about something, they'll always one-up you. And that's not a bad thing. But Texans have just been born and bred to know that they're bigger, badder, better. Everything is worse in Texas. It's harder to live in Texas. They're tougher people, all those things. And so I always just chalked it up to that. Oh, that's you Texans thinking it's so hard. But really what it is in Florida, see, it rains every day in the summer. That's our rainy season, and so it's fine. But in Texas, I guess the rainy season is not in the summer, and so they're actually dealing with the same thing that I am right now, which is temperatures over 90 and zero rain. We had 1 day of rain 2 weeks ago now, 6 weeks before that, nothing, and ever since, nothing, nothing, nothing. So this is what it's like to have St. Augustine grass in Texas. So I owe y'all an apology. I feel your pain. I know what you're dealing with, and I'm struggling too, if that's any help. But I'm still gonna enjoy the mow. Wanted to show you this real quick. Remember how I planted the
Citra Blue in a couple spots. Well, this one I haven't been able to keep watered enough, and so it hasn't done well. So my fault. You can see around the edges some of it got established, so we'll have to see. But that ain't good. Rainy season will fill that in though, so it'll be interesting to watch, and I'll show you how fast or how much of a miracle rain actually is. But the section I planted over here, which is also in full sun, did get enough water and has lived, and you can definitely see the difference in the color. Can you see it right there? So that is the Citra Blue in and amongst palmetto. Now, we got some weeds that have come in because dayflower is my #1 enemy right now. So look at it. Opportunistic. Look at this stuff. But rather than use chemical right now, I'm just going to use my hands and pull it. But either way, you can definitely see a difference in the color. At least I think you can. Yeah, you definitely can. So pretty interesting. We'll watch that as it goes on. My thought is that the palmetto will intermingle there, and you probably won't see it very much for very long. But for now that it's still itself, definitely a difference in the color. All right, that was an enjoyable mow. Now it's time to put the finishing touches on my Memorial Day display. You see, in my neighborhood, for Memorial Day, Veterans Day, 4th of July, everybody puts flags out along their house lining. Look at that, all the way down, you can see them. And it's really only on this block that they do it. But it's really cool, and I really like it, so I participate as well. So there we go. Now I got mine up, and we got the whole block celebrating freedom in America. Oh yeah. All right, next thing is earlier in the week, I actually sprayed for gray leaf spot in the St. Augustine grass. Let me show you everything I did there and the products that I used. All right, y'all, now in the last video, I told you I've got some issues with gray leaf spot in my St. Augustine grass. And so I didn't treat it then because everything was under so much stress, but now I've got everything well watered and it's not under stress, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply. Now, when it comes to gray leaf spot, there is a combination that I highly recommend, and it's really anchored by this right here. This is Cleary's 3336F, and this is a New Farm product. Now, interestingly enough, I've got 2 jugs here. I'm not sure when I bought these, but one of them says not for homeowner use, and the other one does not say that. And that's because I always go to read labels when I, get started. I just brush up and everything. So I looked on their website, and the most current label does say not for homeowner use, which is kind of interesting to me. I'm not sure why they changed that. However, I am using the jug today that is not labeled that, so I am not breaking the law, because my jug does not say not for homeowner use. Now, as far as what you get, that's on you. But Cleary's 3336F for gray leaf spot is the best that you can get. I'll give you a blog post below with some of these details, but another interesting thing is it says that for gray leaf spot, the application rate is 4 ounces per 1,000. However, when you look in here, there's a max rate per application. So in one single application, the maximum amount you can use on a home lawn is 2 ounces per 1,000. So what that tells me is you gotta do 2 apps of this 14 days apart. So remember, 2 ounces per 1,000, 1 gallon covers 1,000 square feet. That's the max you can do in a single application. I've got a 4-gallon backpack, so I need 8 ounces. Now, what's nice about these products is they come in what is called a tip and pour, and I'll show you how it works up close in a minute, but you just tip it over, let it fill up. So I need 8 ounces. So there's 1, that's 4 ounces, and I need another 4. So there's my 8 ounces of product. Cleary's 3336. Now, here's the next one. Now, the reason I use 2 different fungicides is because of resistance management. I use 2 different fungicides from 2 different groups. A group, when it comes to IDES, means mode of action or how it works. In this case, how it attacks the fungal problem. The Cleary's is a group 1. So that's 1 mode of action, and this is propiconazole. You guys have heard of this. This is a group 3. This is another mode of action. You use both of those together, and that will help stop disease resistance, because these fungi can become resistant to the products if you only use 1. So you use 2 to help prevent that. There we go. So now we've got 8 ounces of the Cleary's in there, and we got 8 ounces of the propiconazole in there. That's enough to cover 4,000 square feet. Now we're just gonna fill the rest up with water. This is a little bit of a different product. We're not gonna water it in, but we're also not gonna prevent watering. In other words, gray leaf spot is mostly a disease of the leaf tissue, so we're gonna spray this down on the lawn and let it sit. but we're also just gonna let our irrigation run like normal. So there's no need to not water it in, but you definitely don't wanna water it in on purpose. You just wanna spray it down, let it sit, and continue irrigating your lawn as you normally would. That's how this works, a little bit different. You're gonna see the same as different when it comes to the tip. There's a little bit of a different strategy there as well. Lastly here, the wind is picking up and I've already sweated through my mic, so I can't use it. So sorry if this is a little bit too windy, but I just wanted to give you a quick update and show you now, after I sprayed that mixture last week of glyphosate with triclopyr and 2,4-D, let me show you how everything died now. I think the main area I'll show you is here. Remember there was all these weeds that were growing up right around here? And you can see this bad boy is still alive, no problems. Now it does have some scale issues that I need to contend with, but that's pretty typical on these cycads. But you can see all those weeds, they're now dead. They're just dead as a hammer is what we used to say. Just completely gone. So zorched them quick, even some of the taller ones that were in here. Looks like a little green left on that one. And some of you were concerned that I had actually stepped in the mix and then stepped on the lawn, and that's a good call out. You shouldn't do that. You need to be careful not to do that. I didn't suffer any effects here, but it is very well possible that when you step on that non-selective and then you walk with those same shoes onto your lawn, that you could get dead spots. So good call out. Don't you do it when you spray. All right, now let's fast forward to Monday and I'll give you some content that's a little different than what you're used to, but I think you'll like. All right, y'all, real quick, one last question people are gonna ask here when it comes to the gray leaf spot is, should I continue to fertilize? And the answer is yes, but you want to avoid flushes of growth. Now, I know that was a problem you might have experienced in college, but here as adults, we do not want to push our lawn to flushes of growth. But it doesn't mean you want to starve it either. Think about it, your lawn is under stress, it's got a disease. What are you gonna do, stop feeding it? No, you want to still give it the nutrients that it needs. So we want to still give it a little bit of nitrogen because we do want it to grow. That's the other thing. Gray leaf spot is primarily a disease of the leaf, and so every time you mow, you're literally removing disease from the lawn, which is why you should catch your clippings, but causing the lawn to still grow, not flush, but still grow helps that to grow, cut, you're literally removing. So when I say you want to avoid flushes of growth, you're not going to put down like 1.5 pounds of nitrogen or just straight urea. Again, you want something that's got slow release nitrogen in it to give you some growth now, some green up now, but then also to sustain that growth by pushing the nitrogen out slowly over a sustained amount of time, and that's what Flagship has. Flagship would be great. Flagship puts down only 3/4 pounds of nitrogen, and 50% of that nitrogen is slow release. So that's not going to give you a nasty push of growth, but it will give you sustained growth. Of course, if you have stress blend, that would work too. So that's the answer to that. The other last thing you want to do is make sure you're watering deep and frequent, water in the mornings, and dry the lawn off if you can. Morning dew will tend to spread it around, so even if you can give the lawn a nice dry off in the morning, that would be great. Hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your Memorial weekend. Don't forget, we extended the sale all the way through to the end of the month, and I'll see you in the lawn.